Hi guys, Merry Christmas. And it is Christmas evening. What about that lunar eclipse, guys? What do you think? Okay, tonight's video is going to be on some of my favorite decks this year that I received this year that I fell in love with, and I wanted to share them with you. First one is by Astrology Answers, and it is called the Master Tarot. I've done some walkthroughs on some of these decks already, so I'm sure you guys are familiar with it. There is another Master Tarot. It's an English version. This is not it. This one is by Astrology Answers. Sorry about that, guys. It's another version of the Waite. I guess you would call it a clone. I really love it because to me, it looks like the imagery pops almost in a 3D fashion, and it really speaks to me. So that is the Master Tarot. Sorry guys, this is a new camera stand, so if it shakes a little bit, I apologize. This next honorable mention that I fell completely head over heels for is the Ciro Marchetti Grand Lux. I love this deck so much. For those of you that don't already own it, haven't already done a walkthrough on it, or haven't seen it, this deck is well worth what Amazon charges for it, and whatever Ciro charged for it before, I'm sure it was well worth that too, because this is beautiful. I have two of his decks here. It's one of my favorite cards. I have two of his decks here, and you'll see the other one in a little bit. I really, really love Ciro's decks. I love his art style. The first deck I ever got of his, I bought in Salem. And you could buy the deck anywhere. I just happened to get it when I was there. And it was the Legacy of the Divine Tarot. And at that time, because we're going back, I don't know how many years ago, I didn't have as many decks at that time. I knew how to read tarot. I just really, I don't know, I didn't like that specific style deck. But I like some of his other decks, and I wound up getting his Oracle of Visions, which I fully enjoy. But anyway, I do enjoy his art. His other deck that I have is the Gilded Tarot, which comes in a lot of beginner tarot kits. This is a great tarot deck to start with for beginners. I just adore this deck. This is one of those decks that you can't put down, I would say, for me. Every time I pick it up, I love the gloss feel. I love the way it shuffles. I love the vibrancy of the cards. I love the messages. I love that it's not your typical imagery for Rider-Waite. It kind of brings a little more to the table. I think that one's upside down, and the rest of them may be. But I don't know what order this tarot deck came in as far as the decks that he created, but I believe this was one of the first. I could be wrong. It could just be the very most popular. But I'm looking forward to, I think it's the Gilded Royale that's coming out. I'm looking forward to it. Okay, so that is two of Ciro's decks. One of my other honorable mentions is the Dark Mansion Tarot. Now, I know a lot of you have this, and for those of you that do not, this comes with the gilded black sides, which I very much love. And there are many, many fabulous YouTubers out there that have done walkthroughs on this video. On this tarot deck. I sound like an idiot. This is such a cool, I guess they call it a Nightmare Before Christmas Tim Burton kind of tarot deck. This is so great. I love this tarot deck, and a lot of people have it. So this is one of my honorable mentions. I love this card. One of my favorite decks of this year that I have received. Also, the Light Sears Tarot. I have to mention this deck because I've been working with this one lately. This is a really cool, very new deck. If you're not familiar with it, if you haven't heard of it, you can go on YouTube, and there are a ton of videos on this deck, especially. I even have a couple videos on this deck, and I really, really love it. There's some cards I don't love that are not, like, my favorite, but that's okay. Most of them I love, and I really connect with this deck well. So I wanted to mention it, the Light Sears Tarot. Okay. The other deck is the Forest Creatures Tarot. I've shown a walkthrough of this one before as well. This deck is beautiful. These are lanterns. This is kind of a fairy-based deck that came from Russia. I love these cards. I either got these the end of last year or the very beginning of this year. And I really love these guys too. The characters in here are very, very interesting. I think I would call this, I don't know if I would call it a matte finish. It's got kind of like a velvety finish. It reminds me a lot of the Dark Mansion Tarot with the finish, and I'm not a pro on that type of, I don't know what that cardstock is called. But these are really, really beautiful cards. I believe they're still on eBay and Etsy, and they have a website. I did a video on it before, and I give the website on the video. You'll see it on my channel. Anyway, that had to be one of my honorable mentions. I have 3 more to mention that I received this year. This one is the Cosmic Tarot. Really, really sorry about that buzzer, guys. Really, really love this tarot deck. Another one that I love. Connected with it very quickly. Became one of my favorites. Most of these tarot decks that I'm going to show, I've already done a walkthrough on, a video about. I just wanted to give you a showing of them again because they're some of my favorites I was working with this year. Next up is the Game of Thrones Tarot. For those of you that don't know what they look like, this is the backs, this is the fronts. It's got a very big comic book feel to it. Sorry about the shakiness, guys. I love this deck. It reads very nicely. You guys have probably seen it already. And one more deck I'm going to mention before I go. The Universal Celtic Tarot. I love the feel of these cards. I love the way they feel in my hands. I've been working with them this year as well. Very awesome energy. Very awesome graphics, art style. Colors pop. Colors are awesome. Very saturated. Okay, guys, I just wanted to do this recap on Christmas and show you some of the decks I've been working with this year that I enjoy, that I love, although I have many. I thought I would let you see a few that I had been working with, that I connected with this year. Okay, guys, have a great night. If you like my video, like and subscribe, and there'll be more to come. Thank you. Merry Christmas. Happy Yule.